The control of minds, a chilling reality. Throughout human history, governments and organizations have always sought the ability to influence the minds of the masses, whether through propaganda, psychological manipulation, or even modern technology. But what happened on November 15, 1978, was shocking by all standards. The world awoke to a horrific human tragedy. 918 people committed mass suicide by drinking juice laced with cyanide poison. And behind this catastrophic event was one man, Jim Jones, the founder of the People's Temple, who managed to convince his followers to willingly embrace death. The bodies of the victims were scattered across the ground, among them 300 children, in a heartbreaking and unimaginable scene. This tragic event forced the world to ask, what kind of mind could convince so many people to take their own lives? And how did Jim Jones manage to control them? The story of Jim Jones is not the only one in history, but it is a striking example of what psychological manipulation techniques can achieve when used skillfully. For centuries, governments have dreamed of possessing the power to control minds, driving scientists into a relentless race to discover techniques that could achieve this goal. While ancient methods relied on psychological manipulation, technological advancements have opened the door to far more dangerous and effective mind control techniques. One of the most notable figures in the art of mind manipulation was Joseph Goebbels, the Nazi propaganda minister who transformed Adolf Hitler into a walking legend. He used advanced psychological techniques to make the masses believe in Hitler without question, following him to their doom. He also developed theories such as framing, which involves placing the public within a predefined mental framework, preventing them from thinking beyond it. These techniques were not limited to political regimes. They were also used in advertising, marketing, and even in suppressing political opponents through psychological and physical torture, breaking their resistance entirely. The hidden science of mind control. The renowned writer Vance Packard, in his book The Hidden Persuaders, explained that human consciousness is divided into 3 levels. The fully conscious mind, which perceives and understands things clearly. Instincts, fears, and subconscious urges, which influence many of our actions without us realizing it. The deep unconscious mind, which can be manipulated to influence individuals without their awareness. Marketers, advertisers, and politicians have exploited these psychological vulnerabilities to sell products, influence voters, and shape the public image of celebrities and political figures by controlling their appearance and public presence. All of this has been achieved using precise psychological techniques, modern techniques for mind control. With scientific advancements, 5 major technologies have emerged that enable mind control. Psychological manipulation. This method exploits psychological weaknesses, such as fears and desires, to push individuals into making unconscious decisions. Electrical stimulation. By sending mild electrical currents to specific areas of the brain, it is possible to control emotions, behaviors, and even thoughts. Light-based mind control. In 1979, the Nobel Prize-winning scientist Francis Crick wrote an article about the impact of light on brain cells, explaining how the bacteria rhodopsin protein can react to light and alter neural activity. Experiments on mice have shown that targeted light pulses can completely change their behavior, for instance, turning a calm mouse into an aggressive one. Magnetic waves. These are not just therapeutic tools. They can be used to influence brain activity from a distance, raising disturbing questions about whether human behavior can be controlled remotely. Pharmaceutical stimulation. Through the use of drugs and black chemistry, mood and behavior can be manipulated, making individuals more susceptible to external influence. Are we truly free? All these techniques raise terrifying questions. Could we become mere puppets, controlled by unseen forces? Are we truly making our own decisions, or are hidden influences shaping our thoughts without us even realizing it? What was once the stuff of science fiction has now become a frightening reality. From political propaganda to neural control, from advertising to psychological manipulation, we now live in a world where unseen forces play with our minds and perceptions. These astonishing scientific developments force us to ask an essential question: can we protect ourselves from these techniques? Perhaps the only solution is awareness, seeking the truth beyond the overwhelming influences surrounding us. But with the vast scale of psychological manipulation, do we still possess the ability to think freely? Or have we already become mere pawns in the game of mind control?